What makes a good breakfast? I'm sure that you've probably heard lots of people say, oh, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. I'm not necessarily going to say that it is, but it really is influential in terms of your energy levels and your food choices for the rest of the day as well. So you might have noticed that sometimes if you eat breakfast on the go a little bit, or you grab something maybe a little bit more refined, like a croissant, a piece of toast or something like that, then not long after that you feel like you need something else, maybe another coffee, maybe you need something else to eat, a snack, and it can be a bit of a spiral. So breakfast is really important for your energy levels and also your metabolic health, and it's just one of your meals, so it's really important to get all the nutrients you need at every meal. So make it an opportunity for good nutrition. So first thing I was going to say is timing. So it is really important to make sure that you get that 12-hour fast from the last thing you eat at night till the first thing you eat in the day. And this isn't like a special kind of restriction or, I'm fasting. This is just normal behavior, and this is just typical and healthy and normal. It should be effortless, really, for 12 hours from the last thing you eat in the evening till the next day at breakfast. And it should sort of not need a lot of thinking about, but really what it means is try to avoid late night snacking, really. The reason for that 12-hour overnight fast is for metabolic health. It's for cognitive health, digestive health. There's a lot that goes on in the body in a fasted state. So it's not depriving yourself, it's just a normal way of being. So that's that. But for some people, they like to extend that little fast a little bit more, 14, 15 hours. And some people go further. Now, fasting can be really useful for people, for their health. But it is possible to shoot yourself in the foot with fasting, and I've mentioned this before. So do listen to your body. It can be that your body is crying out for food. So for some people, they do better to eat, within an hour or so of waking. So do try and tune into yourself and to your body and what it needs. So give yourself a nourishing breakfast. So now your breakfast just doesn't have to look like a conventional breakfast. When we think about breakfast, we think about cereals and fruit, maybe yogurt, toast and baked goods, or maybe like a cooked breakfast on the other hand. But actually breakfast can be anything. It doesn't have to conform to any particular type of meal. And what I would encourage you to do is find something that has good source of protein in it, some healthy fats and some fibre from fruit and vegetables. And it's something that you enjoy eating, it's something that's easy to eat, something that can be part of your routine. So it just doesn't have to be that conventional thing. In fact, the less conventional, probably the healthier it probably is. If you are a little bit wedded to something like porridge, cereal, muesli and that kind of thing, then just make sure that you are getting one that hasn't got lots of added sugar or sweeteners. It's got lots of nuts and seeds and things to keep it nutritious, and that you're using a decent milk. So if you do eat milk, or drink milk, if you have milk in your life, make sure it's a really good quality one. So if you have cow's milk, make sure it's organic, whole milk. If you have alternative milks, please choose one with no vegetable oil in. But certainly for children, they should be having, they shouldn't be having low fat options. Making sure you've got things like nuts and seeds if you're having that kind of breakfast, because you're going to need the protein. Because often breakfast is one of the most low protein and high sugar meals, and that's not a good way to start the day. So if you really love your porridge and your muesli and you're not really sure about how to get the protein in, you can always have a little bowl of that, but also have something with protein on the side. And so for your protein, eggs are brilliant. They are a good all-rounder, so versatile. But I appreciate not everyone can eat eggs, not everyone likes eggs. Some people like eggs, but they just can't stomach them in the morning. I get it, understand. Sometimes you can just have like what some people describe as picky bits for breakfast, bits and bobs, whatever you want to call them. This could be just, maybe some slices of turkey and some olives and some bits of tomato, or it could be A few years ago, I went on holiday to Kefalonia. I had Greek salad for breakfast because I just really fancied it. It was so hot, didn't want anything cooked. So I had my protein from my feta cheese. So it can be literally anything, but just get that protein in. So it could be that you make something in advance that you can have the next day. So I really love my mini frittatas. They're really easy to make, and then they last me a couple of days because I make a batch of them, and then I can keep them in the fridge, and then I just sort of warm them up in the oven. But do allow some time for your breakfast. That's the problem, isn't it? We just have to eat it really quickly because we're on our way to work or take somebody somewhere. So it's often a meal that has no thought into it, no planning, and so it just gets overlooked. So just now and again, have a think about your breakfast. You don't have to plan it just religiously every day, but maybe give some thought to it. Maybe think to yourself, oh yeah, in a couple of days, I'm going to need good energy. I'm going to, prepare something in advance, or just have what you need in the fridge, like a really good quality yogurt. Yogurt has really varied protein levels in it. So it can be as low as 3 or 4% protein, which isn't enough for a bowl of yogurt, or it can be up to 9 or 10. The ones that are about 10 grams of protein per 100 grams tend to be the low fat ones. I'm not very keen on low fat things, but you can get 9 grams of protein from a really good quality Greek yogurt. So you could have something like that with some nuts and seeds and some fruit in it. And as I say, you can have eggs. You can have a traditional cooked breakfast now and again, a little bit of salmon with some, avocado or something like that. Be creative, but all I would urge you to do is think about the fact that what you eat first in the morning will likely set up the tone of the rest of the day, how you're going to eat, how much coffee or tea you drink. So yeah, give it some thought and have a little think about planning your breakfast now and again.